Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have something completely different for you, so not a haul, which is rare. So yes, today's video is going to actually be a Q&A video. I haven't done one of these on my channel before. I've done a few tags and like assumptions, that kind of thing, but I don't think I've done a Q&A before. So I did post on my story on Instagram whether you would like to see a Q&A, and I think it was like 98% said yes. So if you do want to be involved with like voting and letting me know your suggestions and things for future videos, do follow my Instagram. I will leave it on the screen for you here. It's always linked in the description box too, but usually if I'm doing something where I want like your questions or your opinions or something, I usually do ask over on Instagram. So if you do want to be involved in that, make sure you're following me. And I always usually post, like if I haul something, I'll post an outfit. If it's a small business review, I'll usually post a photo maybe of where I put it. Anyway, I did ask for your questions and I've got a whole bunch of them here. I did screenshot them. I did actually get quite a lot more than I thought I would. I thought I'd get like 5, but I did get kind of 2 or 3 pages worth. So if I don't get through your question, I am sorry. Some of them I haven't picked just because I don't really have too much of an answer for, but if you'd like me to do kind of a second one of these, do let me know in the comments. And if you do have any questions and maybe you're not on Instagram, do let me know any questions you have in the comments on this video too, and I will save them for the next one if that's something you'd like to see. But yeah, I'm just gonna start going through them. We'll start with a very simple one, and that's age. I am 22. I keep thinking I'm 21 but I am 22. My birthday is in January, so nearly 23. I did get a few shop questions on here too, but if you'd like to see a separate kind of Q&A for my shop, that's something I'd like to do, but whenever I've asked for questions I haven't really got any. So if you would like to see that and you have questions, also leave that in the comments too. But one of them was, what's your favorite product in your shop? That's quite a tricky one because I do have quite a lot of products. I'd say one of my favorites is the Plague Doctor necklace. I actually did take it out today. So this was one of the ones I keep for myself. I don't actually keep too much jewellery for myself just because I have a lot of jewellery, but this is one that I did keep because I absolutely love it. You probably will have seen me wearing it in a few videos, but it's this Plague Doctor necklace. And I really wanted something that had like the mask but that was see-through, like on the eye hole, and it's got all the rivets in it. So yeah, that's probably one of my favourite jewellery pieces. I also like my Cozy Ghost design, like the autumn one specifically, and I like the strange and unusual notepads that I recently did too. So I also have my Halloween collection coming up very soon because I'll be putting up this video either tomorrow or like the next Wednesday, so definitely check out my Simply Gothic Instagram. I will be letting you know like the exact date and time when I'll be releasing my Halloween collection too. So yeah, but that is probably one of my favourite products. The next one is, what got you into drawing / designing jewellery? So I actually went to Center Parcs with one of my friends, Sasha. You can kind of book all these activities and one of them was jewellery making. So I was kind of just getting into kind of gothic things. It was kind of more like I was wearing black shorts and maybe like a black t-shirt with like a sugar skull on it, that kind of thing. So kind of more basic things, but I still really liked that kind of fashion, but I was more at like the beginning part of it. Yeah, so I went to the jewellery making class and I really liked it, and I made a necklace. I might have a photo of it, but if I do, I'll put it on the screen, but I might not. And it's basically this beaded necklace with kind of glass beads. It wasn't really like spooky or anything like that, but I chose like the darker beads. And yeah, that was my first ever necklace I made. And then I started going into like beaded bracelets, but they were more for like normal people. They weren't really like dark or spooky or anything. They were just kind of beads from Hobbycraft that I got, but I really liked jewellery making ever since I did that course, so I wanted to do it more. And then I realised it wasn't working because it wasn't really stuff I liked, so then I started following my interests and making jewellery that I would wear. And yeah, so that's basically what got me into setting up my shop and designing and drawing jewellery designs, was because of activity I did at Centre Parks. Switching it up, are your family spooky too? Not really. My sister, if you've seen like photos of us together, we're completely different, both in like appearance, personality, everything. We're the complete opposite of each other. My mum definitely isn't, and I wouldn't say my dad is either, but my dad does like to wear like leather jackets and black jeans and all of that, so, but in general, no, they're not. Top 3 of your favourite shoes you own. This again is a difficult one, but I can say straight away my #1 pair of shoes are my spring boots from New Rock. I did a review all about those, so I'll link it in the eye if you're looking at those or you're after those. Really love those boots. They're so comfortable. I trust them. They've got huge platforms on. They're just like the craziest boots, and literally whenever I go out wearing them I always get some kind of question about them or a compliment, so I really like them. They're really unique. So that's definitely my first pair. I don't know like my second and third in order, but I definitely like my hot chocolate design stripy shoes. I'm gonna wear those today because I'm wearing like the striped Killstar top, so I love those. They're probably one of my most worn pairs of shoes from Hot Chocolate Design. I also did a review on those, so I will link that in the eye for you as well. But they're just like the Mary Jane shoes with these stripes across them, so I'd say those are up there too. And the last pair, I also like my Underground Winkle Pickers, even though I don't recommend the price they sell them at. I did get them quite cheap off of Amazon, and they're not the best quality, honestly. The soles of them keep wearing down, which is actually why I haven't worn them for quite a long time, because I've been looking for that plastic, which I just ordered yesterday to be able to fix them. But that's because I've worn them so much, so they're definitely in the top 3 too. I got one saying, do you get annoying stupid people calling you an emo when you're clearly not? I get this a lot. Luckily I don't, but it could also be the fact that literally whenever I go out, whether it's or driving, I'd be alone, but if I get like the train or I'm walking through town, I always have my headphones in, so even if people did say stuff like that, I wouldn't really hear it. But there was, I think I've been called that one time, and it was during like secondary school, so quite a while ago, and I was just walking into town from the train station, and like there were a group of like chavs, it's always the chavs, and they just like shouted that, and I just was just like okay. Usually when people say that I just kind of ignore them and keep on walking, because they're looking for that reaction, so don't give it to them. It is annoying, but luckily I don't get it too often. So I got, what is your favourite Halloween movie? I don't actually watch like too many horror films, to be honest. I've seen a few. I've seen like all the Alien films. I know some people won't class that as a horror film, but I think it's terrifying, so it's a horror film to me. But I have seen all of those. In terms of like Halloween specifically, I do like Hocus Pocus. Like I've only seen it once or twice, but if I'm wanting like a cozy kind of Halloween autumnal film, that's generally what I'll go to, because I want something that I can just watch and not be just like this the whole time. That's what I'd say my go-to Halloween film is. But I do also like The Nightmare Before Christmas, so maybe between those two. A very similar question, what sort of movies do you like? I really like a range of movies. It's very similar to my music taste. I like a lot of different things. Like I wouldn't just say, oh, I like this type of movie. Like horror films I like the idea of, but also they're terrifying. But I do like some of them, but I wouldn't say I'm like a huge horror fan. I do like kind of unusual films, I'd say. Like I really liked Crimson Peak, that kind of thing. I like a lot of Tim Burton films. Corpse Bride, all of those, I really do like those. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean series, love that. I like Repo. I like musicals like Phantom of the Opera, they've got a DVD on it, love that. Also like a lot of TV shows like The Vampire Diaries. You probably already know that, but yeah, so I like a lot of different things. Generally I prefer, I don't know if I have a question on TV shows. If I don't, I'll just answer it now. Yeah, I don't. Generally I prefer TV shows rather than movies, to be honest. I do like movies, but I watch definitely a lot more TV shows. I usually like the one kind of supernatural show, so I'll be watching like The Vampire Diaries or Shadowhunters, just something like fantasy based. But then I also like a relaxing show like The Office, something like that. So I kind of like supernatural or something I can just watch and it's just really watchable. So yeah, definitely a range. Top 3 favourite brands of clothing. Killstar has to be one of them. I know there are some issues with Killstar and it's put people off. I do understand that. But for me, maybe I'm just lucky I haven't had too many issues. Literally, like, I'm wearing all Killstar now. Like, this top is from Killstar. I'm wearing this velvet skirt, it's from Killstar. The majority of my branded clothes, like apart from high street stores, are Killstar, because I just love a lot of different things that they do, and I find that they do quite a range of different styles. So it's not kind of like, if you think of Dark in Love, they do very Lolita Victorian. So if you kind of like cyber goth or kind of more of a modern goth thing, you're not going to really find that on there. So I like that Killstar does these different releases. So they'll have like a vampire kind of romantic goth kind of thing, then they'll do pastel goth, even though that collection was not very good. It didn't really have many like clothes in it, but they did do that. They've done like apocalyptic kind of style. They do like the Victorian stuff. Like, they do a real range of different styles, which is why I always go back to them, because I don't really just wear one style. Like this, I'd say, is quite modern. Then I do like some of the Lolita, some of the Victorian stuff, and definitely some of the vampire stuff. So that's definitely, I've just given like a whole explanation. But number 1 is Killstar. Number 2, I do like Disturbia, but a lot of their clothes aren't really my thing. They're more like grunge goth. They're probably Hell Bunny. I really do like Hell Bunny. So probably Killstar, Hell Bunny, maybe Dark in Love. I do have a few things from Dark in Love, and I have been impressed with the quality too. I'll go with those 3. Although Punk Rave have some really nice things, but I only have a skirt from them, so yeah, I'm gonna go with those 3. What's your least favourite type of sweet? I don't really like licorice. I don't like Parma violets. I'm going to say licorice or Parma violets. I've got what hobbies interest you. Obviously, I love jewellery making. That's why I have a whole shop about it. This is a hobby. I love filming videos and editing them. I also play the cello, so I haven't practiced in a while, but I do play the cello, so that's another interest. I'd say fashion is just an interest in general. Like, I love looking at new things. I like putting outfits together, so that's definitely a hobby, even though it's very like buy. I've got one that says, what is something you like that doesn't necessarily fit your goth exterior? I didn't really have an answer prepared for this. I didn't really have an answer prepared for any of this in general. I just thought I'd read it and see what I come up with. Maybe the fact that like my whole bed is covered in like cuddly toys. Like, I know some of them are spooky, like these ones, but I have a lot of ones just like bears that sit on this side of the bed. I'm sure you already thought this was too much, but the other side of the bed is almost even worse. So probably that. I've got like a few spooky ones. Like, I've got wolves, I've got this super cute pumpkin bear, but then I also have like my childhood bears and stuff like that. So maybe that, I wouldn't say that fits in with it. I'd say like these do. But maybe that. I also like plants, but I feel like that's not like too out there. Maybe some of my music taste as well. Like, I definitely have some stuff that doesn't fit into like rock or goth or anything like that. So like musicals, stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. Next one is, how many Halloween snow globes do you have? I think I have 10. That's not like all of the big ones, but I've got like 3 mini ones, a medium, and the rest are all like the huge TK Maxx Halloween snow globes, so definitely a lot. What was the last TV show that you watched? I'm actually re-watching Gossip Girl at the moment. I nearly started The Vampire Diaries for like the 11th time, and I was like, Kirsty, no, don't do it. So I'm actually re-watching Gossip Girl at the moment. It's quite addictive. My sister's just started watching it. She's been wanting to watch it for such a long time, so I thought I'd watch it kind of at the same time as her. So I am watching that at the moment. I've got favourite song of all time. I don't know if I can answer that. It really depends on like what I fancy. Sometimes I'll be all about this like one album. Like I love the Repo music. I was like, yes, I just want it on all the time. And then I'll get like a little bit bored of it, put it to the side, be obsessed with something else. And then like, I'm one of those people who, when they rediscover or discover a song, I will play it on repeat all day. And then I'll wake up and then I'll do the same. So if there's a song I like, I'm literally obsessed with that song until I've like overplayed it too much. Then I'll put it to the side, focus on something else, and then like a few weeks will pass and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that one song, and then I'll come back to it and then I'll just repeat. So that's kind of how my music works. But yeah, I don't know if I have a favourite song of all time. It really depends on what I'm into at that time. What are your favourite bands or musicians? I really like And1. It's very different. It's more like industrial goth, I believe. Some of their songs are in German, some of them are in English. It's very like dark music. Some people might say it's a bit strange, but I really like it. Their songs are always really, really catchy. I really like the Body Pop album and the trilogy, which has like Magnet, Propeller and another one. So yeah, I really love them. They were in like my top played of like my Apple Music roundup of 2020. So I really like them. Love Evanescence. I don't care what people say. I love Evanescence. I've got back into Skillet recently actually. I used to listen to them in secondary school, so they kind of make me think of that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I used to listen to an album with Monster on it, and then I made Monster my alarm, which was a mistake because now I can't stand the song. But I was really into those albums, and then I just got a bit bored of them. And then they came out with 2 new albums, could be recently or that I just haven't looked at it for a while. One called Victorious and one of them called Unleashed. I really like those 2 albums, so I've been really liking them at the moment. I can do a whole music video. I do have it on my list. The only thing putting me off is if someone did their music recommendations, I probably wouldn't watch it, because if someone's talking about music, I want to be able to hear it and then be like, oh yeah. I don't want to have to like sit there, make a list, then go and listen to them all after. Maybe that's just me, but if that is something that you would like to see, do let me know, because it's definitely something I can do. It's just whether there's enough interest for it. And I know it's a bit annoying because obviously you can't play music on YouTube because they'll like flag it and all of that. But yeah, do let me know, because that is something I can do. It's just I can't play the music on the video, so do let me know. And the last question I would do is, why did you decide to start your business? Again, not something I had an answer prepared for. As I said earlier, I always really liked jewellery making, and that's probably something I would have done anyway, even if I didn't have a shop, because I just really enjoyed it. But I've always really liked selling as well. Like I've always like sold on Depop. Even when I closed my shop for a little bit during the pandemic, at the beginning, I think it was like 3 days, and then I was like, right, I'm gonna sell art prints. So I don't know, have this need to sell. So I've always really liked selling stuff. Like I like the whole process. Obviously there's money involved, so there is that too, but I just like the whole like getting the order and then having to wrap it up and then going to the post office. Like I've always liked that. That's why I guess I decided to start a business, because I liked selling and I also loved making jewellery. And yeah, it gave me a way to be able to like draw up my designs and stuff and sell them, and I just think it's quite rewarding as well. So I don't know if that answered that, but I also just really wanted a shop. I did start on Depop actually, because I wasn't old enough to have an Etsy, and then I went to Etsy and now I have my website. I really like having a shop, even though it's a lot of work. So hopefully that answers that. As I said, also I've got 2 video ideas written down. One of them is like a Q&A about my shop, and the second one is tips on starting up a shop, because I know if I had that video to watch when I was starting out, it would have made such a difference, because I know so much more now than I did like when I started, and that would have been really valuable information to know back then. So I can make that, but obviously it will be really directed at other people who either have a business or want to start theirs. So again, I'm not sure if there's enough interest, but if that's something you'd be interested in, do let me know. So the first one, do you want my recommendations on music? The second one, would you like a Q&A about my shop, Simply Gothic? The third one is, would you like some tips on how to start a business? And the fourth one is, would you like a second Q&A? I know there's 4 questions. Hopefully you won't get confused, but I've tried to make that as clear as I can. But do let me know in the comments, because your feedback is always really appreciated. So yes, hopefully you enjoyed this Q&A. I can also do tag videos. I just haven't found any that I really liked, so if you have any suggestions, as always, do leave it below. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you get to know me a bit better without me being like close, this, that. So yes, do like this video if you did enjoy it. Remember to comment down below all of the things I just said. I won't repeat it again. Do press the notification bell, and also do subscribe if you like these types of videos, or haul videos, or small business reviews, anything like that. And hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye.